or a touching story that they want to share just real briefly to get us off on the right foot? Just about the holidays. You got to, yeah, can you tell me just evaluating? Sorry. Yeah, I think it's sorry. No, that's all right. So our evaluators are Rodney. So Tannen, did you hear you say you're not going to speak today? Right, I know that this time I'm Max, are you still going to speak?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay. So Max, you're going to be evaluated by Rodney, so if you want to make sure you get your book already. You give Rodney your book.
I will, but not for him. I got it.
Okay. And then Michael is speaking with all this awesome equipment. And Scott, you are evaluating Michael, right?
Okay.
Okay, so Michael.
I'm Dennis. Who's Michael?
Dennis isn't on here. We've got Michael on here. So, and I don't see Michael here. I was thinking, oh, I got the names mixed up. So.
No.
All right, so Michael's not here, so we'll just have Dennis take his place.
Yeah, I'd love to explain what it is I'm doing and proposing to do for Toastmasters. Love to do that during that time. Not going to take long, 3 to 5 minutes. You need me to take longer than that? I can.
Well, if you want to count for one of your speeches, because you're the constant leader one, right?
I haven't signed up for anything yet. We need to get that.
Leslie?
Yes.
Just 15 minutes.
Yes.
And you're doing it 8 to 10. I think those two speaks together.
Well, he all said. He said 35 minutes. So sometimes it's not evaluated until we go. So this is. So let's have Jackie go second then. And Scott, you'll evaluate Jackie. Okay? And then yours isn't evaluated, so when Jackie's done, we can go over to it.
Perfect.
Okay, and then make sure you give them one copy.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we're gonna set up an Andrews. All right.
It may make the speakers either more nervous or more comfortable. Either way, if I were to actually explain this first, this is a thought I'm throwing out there. I'm done.
Go for it.
All right, then come on up first then and explain this.
Okay.
And then I don't have to look at my stats, but I'm anymore. So I'm turning this time over to Dennis. I'm getting over here my butt.
Anybody know what a GomBoc is?
GomBoc.
G-O-M-B-O-C. GomBoc. It is kind of like a little career. Probably should be done. Most people don't know what a GomBoc is. In 1994, a scientist in Russia, mathematician, decided theoretically it would be possible to take any solid mass, marble, glass, steel, etc., and to shape it such that no matter how you dropped it onto a flat surface like the floor, it would eventually roll and end up in a final solid position. Kind of like a Weeble wobble, but a Weeble wobble does what it does not because of any scientific anything, it just has a heavy bottom and a light top. This is the same mass and density all the way through, but it always ends up in the same position. No matter how you put it down, it's going to finish in the position. It took 12 years. Scientists all over the world took the challenge from this Russian mathematician. Finally, they figured out how to do it. And to this day, no one has been able to build a GomBoc without using lasers that are so precise. Cannot cut that shape and make it so that it will actually do what it's supposed to do. Finish at a given position. No matter what you do to it, it always ends up on its feet. 2 weeks ago Tuesday at 2:30, actually at 2 o'clock, I was working from home and I got a call from the company I was working for. They shall remain that day. And I was asked in the most polite possible way to come in for a meeting. I rushed in thinking, oh, okay, great. At 2:30, I sat down with two of the vice presidents and was told that me and 7 other people were being laid off. Merry Christmas. Well, I've been working for this company trying to develop a new service for customers. What you see here, multiple camera, live feed. Currently, just to make you nervous, currently, this is being broadcast to the world through Google Plus and YouTube. It is also simultaneously being recorded, and within a minute and a half of this me being done and hitting stop broadcast, this entire thing will be free camera. You guys will be able to go back and not only see yourself speaking, but you're going to be able to see what everybody else is doing in their reactions. Live or post-production. I do this for all sorts of businesses, and here's why I bring up the GomBoc thing. This all happened at 2:30 in the afternoon. By 5:30 that same day, I had lined up 3 clients, potential clients to meet with about doing this technology. 2 of them have now signed contracts with for 2 weeks and a day and a half later. I sat there Tuesday night reviewing the activities of the day, and if I'm not a GomBoc, I don't know who is. Merry Christmas. Boom! Smack me in the head, knock me on my ass, and you're laid off. Have fun. 3 hours later, I've got the foundation for a business, and a really cool business. A week from Friday, I'm doing a promo to kindergarten. Imagine, if you will, how cool this is. These videos can also be, as you see over there, the cell phone. And bandwidth usage is so minimal, you can actually use it on a 4G connection. We're going to strap one of these to the rear view mirror in the self-facing, so the rear view mirror is still useful. And we're going to do live, interactive test drives of vehicles where people all over the world are going to be able to type questions to me sitting in the showroom of a dealership, and I'm going to be able to talk to the driver of the car. Hey, there's a report of a car and driver that that Fiat has kind of fading brakes if you're doing this. Are you feeling that those brakes are fading? And then can drive that. There are tons of things that I am doing that are unbelievably amazing and unique because there are some amazing things I've thought of already for the aquarium and the build out of the aquarium. So that's not happening. That's a GomBoc. I'm a GomBoc. And in the world of online marketing, where the 8,000-pound gorilla is Google, who changes its algorithms 3 or 4 times each year, you better make certain that the company that's handling your online marketing is ready and able to roll back up on its feet the next time, boom, Google decides to change the world and then with a cute little name like panda or penguin or hummingbird. Not that those names mean anything to you. To you. And they may sound cute, but in our world, they're I'm a GomBoc. I want to be your GomBoc. And any week that I'm here, I will be using the same stuff for all of you. Benefit from live multi-camera feeds so that you can see how people are reacting. Thank you.
Listening to the explanation of GomBoc, I realized this word today. Should we use that? There we go. So, GomBoc.
GomBoc, G-O-M-B-O-C.
And really quick.
Give us the
I don't know. Who's grammarian?
Well, as an adjective, it is a shape that will always roll back onto its Though on online marketing, I have now turned it into a verb. To be GomBoc is to have your company recorded by my company. So you can also use it as its newest 2-week-old version, the verb GomBoc me or GomBocked.
So maybe we could say, just for usage today, that it means land.
Yeah.
All right. So, thank you for that, Dennis, and giving us a great word today. I need to start.
GomBoc.
Writing down his word today. Okay, so let's go ahead and keep moving along then. We won't go into any worm studies today because of this time. So let's go ahead and turn the time over to Matt. I don't have to silent talk as an expert.
Yeah, it's 14 minutes. It's out of the manual interpersonal communication and
Give it 10 to 14 minutes.
asserting yourself effectively is the speech.
Okay. Thanks, Matt.
Rodney, I'll give this to you as soon as I get done with this introduction.
Okay.
Of what this speech is about. Good morning.
Morning.
Brian, how are you?
Doing well, thank you.
Who's this thing got this long? Been here before, right?
Yeah, Richard Pollard.
I don't think we've ever met. Right, in this speech, what I'm do in this speech is to state a problem that I see any problem. I'm supposed to talk about my feelings about the problem and specify a solution and describe the consequences of the solution. So my problem is, and it's one of the reasons I agreed to take on the VP of Education, VP of Education, was that as a sergeant at arms, I've always been able to see where we could improve in terms of part-timing and streamlining this thing. We got an awesome group of people here. And so my problem is I want to make this run smoother. I want it to be more effective, more helpful. My feelings about that is that it stresses me out when I get off schedule. Maybe it goes back to where my father thought that if you weren't 15 minutes early, you were late. And so that could be part of the problem. But when I look at the clock and you're off schedule and you have to sacrifice somebody's speech, then that's what drives me a little bit crazy. So my solution is that I would like to get involved in making sure that we have a schedule online from the clipboard, we have a sign-up sheet put on the clipboard and pass around. But that is completed for the next week for sure. There can be some gaps for the following week, but it needs to be completed for the next week before meeting adjourns. And then that's posted by Tuesday morning. And then by Tuesday night, someone, either Sergeant Arms President, VP of Education, somebody is going to go through that and find out who's in and who's out, what they signed up to do, who needs to cancel. Realizing that sometimes you get in an accident or something happens on Wednesday, there's going to be some of that is going to interfere. I realize I'm not a Nazi. However, I think that we can do better than we've done. So that's my solution. The consequences of that action, I believe, you guys, would be that we'll all be able to come in here and give the speeches prepared to give, go through the evaluation roles. We already know who's going to do what, maybe except for one or two per meeting, and we're just on track, and everybody's going to leave here better prepared to be a leader. Would you give me that light in about 10 minutes?
Sure.
Actually, 5 minutes. 5 minutes in, and then 10 minutes, and then red at 15.
Okay.
So with that, what I'd like to do is that the purpose of this whole manual, this interpersonal communication, that you guys have seen me give 4 speeches now, that that I grab somebody out of the audience. They don't get to know that I'm going to grab them out of the audience until the meeting starts. And so it's always been a little bit awkward. Hopefully this week, maybe I'll keep getting better, because this is what we have to do. And that's what we're here for, Toastmasters, is hone our skills and thinking on our feet and taking ownership of leadership roles and mentoring and those types of things. So with that, I asked Scott to help me today with this. And so Scott, will you come up now and we'll spend about 5 minutes kind of discussing this proposal a little bit and some of the pros and cons. And Scott doesn't necessarily have to agree with me and talk about it. I don't think anybody's going to make Scott agree with something he doesn't agree with. So we're going to go through this. So I will turn this, I'll give this to you, Rodney, and you can go ahead and evaluate this here. So Scott, I described a little bit about what I'm thinking in terms of making this a better club. And one of the consequences of doing that is this club has got English club, that's right, very frankly, it was English President Club, by selling and doing things that other clubs have never done. And it really kind of set the bar in the Toastmasters. And so I'd like to make sure that we can continue on that path and keep this club just coming, just being a real sought after club to go to. So from the proposals that I suggested, do you have any thoughts, Scott, that you could shed light on what I suggested or add to or critique and change? Or what is it that you or your observation is what I suggested?
Yeah, there's a couple of things I noticed. One of the things we considered the fact that people don't always answer student emails. So if you send something out on Tuesday, try to fill a role, you know, getting a response. Had that happened before, I know Sue's had that happen. Not everybody sees that, even though email theoretically would be the best form of communication, consider how you can overcome that problem.
Yeah, what I want to do is be real strong in asking people that sign up for roles to not only check their emails on Tuesday, but give me their phone number, or give the person their phone number that's going to be responsible for this, filling these, making sure that they're filled. And so two lines of communication and some commitment. I really am asking for some commitment, some help from this group to help me. And we're going to have about a 3-minute discussion when we get done. So hang on to your thoughts. And thank you for raising your hand, because anybody that has a question or some suggestion or input here, please, we're going to spend about 3 minutes, 5 minutes maybe on the tail end here, taking that. That's my idea.
One of my challenges when I was teaching education is I know that we have all the roles filled. And I send out a reminder and ask the Toastmaster. We kind of coordinate with people or something. So that's something we definitely have to address. The other thing that we're getting good speakers to now, you come to the meeting wondering if they.
Right. It happens over and over. And so, yeah, it's a challenge. It's really, I think, the word is challenge. If you think about what we're really trying to get done here, trying to accomplish here, we want to become better leaders, don't we? Why in the world would we get up at 6 o'clock or 4 o'clock in the morning, come to a meeting, and not want to get something out of it, take something away from it? Really go out into the so again, I know it's been a challenge, and it will continue to be a challenge, I'm sure, and things do come up, but what I really want to do with all the motivation of benefiting everybody in the club as well as the club, everybody individually can ask for that commitment to take it seriously. You never know how this service in your business, if you're like learned so much in terms of how to communicate inside my family. Talk to my kids about a little bit about saying life. Every other word is life. Life drives us crazy. I said, you got a language? Speak life. And so I use that. I just use that inside my family. Well, I'm proud of you. Because certainly I want my children to be able to go into the business world and get to school and be looked upon as professional and credible. And I want to be able to communicate what they're like to say. So I wish that for everybody here as well. And
Another one of the challenges that we've encountered in the past has been to try to get the postal starting from the week before. What's your thoughts on how you think you do that?
well, I think when somebody signs up for Toastmaster, I think that's when that begins. And for the community stage, then I think that communication between the officers, probably the president as well as the teacher education, Toastmaster fund. So I think we have to initiate that. So I think the Toastmaster kind of a big responsibility, kind of a big deal. Whenever we got everybody's destiny, and so let's take that seriously, don't we, and pass that on to somebody else, Toastmaster.
Yeah. What about the situation where we started about a year ago with these 3 weeks or something, these 4 weeks, and we didn't even, we're not showing up, or we do have 4 because we didn't want to back out. What's your thought on how to deal with that?
Somebody gave me a good idea last week, and I hadn't heard of it or thought of it, and that has to be that constant. That best is that when we have a 10, 14-minute speech or 15-minute speech that we limit it to, and when you sign up and that sheet comes around, if your speech is a 10, 14-minute speech, fill in 2 speeches. Put your name in and come to the response.
So if it's anything longer than 10 minutes, or takes what?
I think so. Not you guys contract. Because for new people, the table topics role is so important, so valuable. It gets people out of their chair and in front of the room, and that's where it all goes. So I think table topics is very important. Sometimes we've had to sacrifice that because of a long discussion or a long strategy. Okay. Where are we at on time? Are we about 10 minutes?
9 minutes.
9? 10. All right, so I think that's, Scott, is there anything else that you?
Well, one of the things in the role that you're taking that, I know I felt it. And so having clearly thought to how you sure that especially new people who are
Yeah, I think so. I think as VP of Education, it's important to kind of connect those people and look and find the new person and say, who do you kind of resonate with? But willing to take the time. Frank has been a great example of mentors. He always reached out to anybody new that came in and said, how can I help you? Can I meet me and have you come in early or one day in advance or stand out here in the hallway and make the whole grid. So I can and feel story about as my mentor. Okay.
Yeah.
You better get in. Well, I am. I still struggle with it, but I'm more comfortable with it. So I think that's something that we have to do. We have to, and I think that's up to an individual. If you're going to come into this club and you're going to put down your $40 for a 6-month subscription or membership fee, find somebody to help you. Get everything out of this thing you can. So, thank you, Scott. I'd like to ask if there anybody else, well, you have something you wanted to ask or contribute or something, please.
One thing that since I joined is, I know I've asked for like a membership roster, like what you said, as far as having another line of communication, again, each other's phone numbers and things, not only for touching base about roles, but also for anything else. You might want to have, you know, meet people, you might get an opportunity to help them with, or I'm not there, you might have. I love membership roster, and I know somebody said we can't put that on the website, although I think if we ask everybody permission that wants to be on there, but at the very least, if somebody joins, I think if we send them a membership roster, so they've got all the contact information for each other, that would be really, really fun. That's a great job with PR. Yeah, I know you said that.
Well, you could-
And I will, because I think that's really, but I just want to make sure everybody's on board with that. I know that's been an issue for people, and so I want to call somebody and check it.
Well, you know, and I agree with that. And again, thank you for that comment, because there's been some resistance to that. There's, you know, privacy things, security things. Is this a safe place? It is a safe place, you guys. I mean, it's safe throughout the whole world. Well, I don't know. I think it is.
There's not going to be that many people watching it.
You're the only one that's sure. I think it's great.
Just because you broadcast it doesn't mean they're watching.
Okay. So, no, great idea. This has got to be a safe place for us. Yeah. Okay. So,
The comment on that is if we could make a membership roster and publish it on the internet, put it behind password.
Right, that's it.
Firewall sometimes, so that only members can come in. I don't have a problem with anybody in this club having this protection. But I do have a problem with the public having it where anybody.
fair enough. Good.
Especially the spiders.
Good point. Good point. And Shannon, I know you've had thoughts about having your speeches recorded and being available. Elaborate on that for just a moment. I want to give you a shot at talking about that, because I know that gives you some hardware.
Yeah, I Googled myself and I saw people talking about it works in college, that was like, I can Google it and do it, and sometimes it'll be where I should not have without my speech and really, and I want to make sure you have an opt out, because although I love your technology, it's not cut out. I would just, so, I just people when they get out, I would be very opportunity out, important, that way they can get comfortable. Don't work out. My thing is, living here is for practice, that's what I am doing here, I feel like each content, I have it. If it sticks, great, but that's the thing, I think, I don't know.
Dennis, is that something that can be the flip of the switch managed?
Yeah. So during the broadcast process itself, that's fairly difficult to manage because it would literally require me to shut down all the cameras, and then I'd have to get up for the next speaker and do it. But as soon as the thing is over, if somebody doesn't want it up there, I can easily take out the part they were speaking. What I would recommend that we do for them is to take out that piece, make a second video of it, put it back on YouTube, and unlist it. Now, if it's unlisted, you can't Google it. It won't come up, and you can only find it if you have the link directly to it. Okay, and I leave everything I ever produce up there, so I can go back and see my own mistakes. So the recommendation that I would have is, let's still, you know, leave those up there, unlist them. Now only you and me would have access to them, and whoever has access to the Toastmasters YouTube channel. But you could go back and look at the presentation and go, why didn't that stick? Now, I mean, I think there's a bigger conversation to be had here
Yeah, so
than we have time.
we're running out of time.
Oh.
We got a red light, I want to end this on time. However, I realize that we've got some things to talk about here, this broadcasting, and we need to understand it. So I think we need to allocate some more time for that. Please don't, do unlist it until we have
Not a
that.
problem.
Thank you, guys.
And I agree, I don't think we should treat, broadcast it live. I know, that's something, maybe we can find for, that was an idea. Great point. This is why we're on, but that's great. So we better keep moving along, so I will go ahead and give you intro. Jackie, give me an intro. So we're gonna do Jackie's speech. Her speech is on gifting, which is appropriate for this time of the year. So confident communicator speech number 10. Yay! And I don't know if you can turn that so somebody doesn't see it, or if it's using the camera.
It's using the camera right
Okay,
now.
it's a little distracting.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'll bring a separate USB camera next week and see.
It's a great idea. but-
Looking at myself, I think my posture.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry. Christmas, it's all about the gifts. I mean, let's not do it. It's all about all that Christmassy stuff, but it's really all about the gifts in America. And where do we learn about gifts? We're born into a family. Everything we know is taught. So the first thing we get experience is birthdays. And that's easy. It's all about me. Everybody's giving me stuff. There's no confusion there at all. But when we get to Christmas, it gets a little convoluted. Because we have gifts that we give out of love, gifts that we give out of need, gifts that we give out of obligation, maybe gifts that we give out of, a little. Gifting. It's really complicated if you stop and think about it. My childhood Christmases were magic. My mom made magic out of things. And we had no idea how hard she worked. There were 4 of us kids, and Santa would come, and my room was at the end of the hall, so I would sneak down to my brother's room early in the morning, and we would all huddle in there and we'd form our little special ops group. Open the door, crawl on the floor. If you woke the parents, my mom was ballistic. So we'd crawl, and we had a big front room that had those spindle parlor doors. In there, and the rays of light started coming, silhouettes of things. Oh my gosh, it was so exciting. Then we'd crawl back and try to figure out what was in there. We couldn't quite make it out. A little while later, we'd crawl back out, the light was coming out. The worst thing was is when it was light enough to see all your stuff in there, there was a big bow that was tied to the spindle from Santa and a big note that said, clean your room up, get dressed, make your bed, and then go wake your parents up, which was not like the Martha Land and Kodak commercial. But we got everything we asked for. We got more. We were spoiled beyond belief. We didn't know that. That's the only life we had really seen at that point. The gifting was awesome. Santa came through. But I had no idea about the real Santa until I got married. My in-laws had a 4-car garage, and above it was a huge racquet. They had 8 kids, and everybody spent the night with their spouses and their kids. They even had a little kerchief, from the store. It was just like the Christmas story. And when you got upstairs in the morning, it was like CCMI, dating myself here, had exploded. That room was filled to the gills. I had no idea how to cry as a child I'd been until I met their Santa. But if stuff and money equaled love and happiness, we would have been fine. But that's not the case. So I had things to learn about gifting and what gifts meant. And I had a great job with Colgate that I've talked about before. I was rolling in the dough. And I decided I wanted to feel that feeling that I was missing. So I signed up to do this at the Santa all by myself. No problem. Lots of money. and I didn't mind giving, and my kids were not used to this big explosive Christmas, so we were fine. Except I too got my packing papers right before Christmas. Our program was a wild maverick program. Colgate was not really approved of, but had done really well. But didn't have a lot of fans in their marketing department. So we were cut off right before Christmas, and we received this notice suddenly. And thankfully, I had gone out and done my shopping. I was a single mom with 3 little kids, and most of my shopping was done. But money now became a really terrifying thing. I did ask for some assistance and got it. And my car had been totally cremated. So I had this beautiful car, and I had my beautiful New York outfit, and I loaded everything in the car, and I drove out by the Capitol. And I had no idea people in Salt Lake City lived like this. This was a hovel. Something out of the Appalachian Mountains with rags stuck in the cracks because there was no heat. And I went in there and carried things in, and my gorgeous boots, and my outfit, my beautiful car out there in the mud, and looked at this family and thought of the things that I had bought, the toys. Yeah, there were coats, and there were underwear and socks, but mostly toys, mostly the kind we want. And as I was leaving, I looked at this mother, and I waited for that feeling that we do these things to them, and it didn't come. I cried all the way home in that car that wasn't mine, with no job, in my New York gear, wishing I had gone and wrapped my arms around this mother, because I was so much like her, scared and not knowing where the money was going to come from, and I probably should have bought food or paid a food bill. Those things don't matter anymore. We get this education about gifting as we go through life, and we see things that are different from how we were raised. And the biggest thing is that I missed the connection, the obvious connection. I knew it then, and I didn't turn around and go back. My brothers, we started noticing after my mom got divorced, would come to Christmas and go like this. They would sit in a chair and they would go like this, and my mom would bring them food, and we would all take this, and we would eat lunch, and then they would go home. And they'd stop bringing the gifts. So we had a little discussion one Christmas, and it was like, we noticed the boys aren't bringing any gifts anymore. And this was interesting because we didn't really care, but it was just kind of a thought. So one year, we got together and decided we weren't going to give them anything. They didn't give us anything back. And they didn't. They came and they sat. My mom bought them lunch. We opened gifts, and the kids were playing, and they were sitting there, and the look on their face was delightful. That birthday, that year, I got a $150 calculator for school for my one brother. I can't remember what the other one did, but the lesson was not this. Gifting. What does it mean? What does it mean? Yeah. My ex-mother-in-law, the same one. I had been abandoned. We had no money. Things were really scary. And one Christmas, I baked cookies, and I went to her house, which was sort of uncomfortable. But I took these cookies there, and we sat down and had this great, fantastic visit. I didn't care. I liked her. I missed her. At the end of our wonderful visit, she got out and wandered to this wall of presents. And then down and picked up this box. Put the gift tag on for her and handed it. It was a beautiful Fitz and Floyd ceramic Christmas Santa. Gold trim, very expensive. It went on the dumpster on the wall. What does it mean? I wish you had given me a job. Because of all the wonderful things that took place in those 2 hours that we talked, that's the thing that's gifting. Gifting is not barter. Or is it? When we give to someone with an expectation of getting something back, sometimes it just hurts our feelings. That gifting? Gifting is an incredible opportunity to see people, to look at them, patience for them. How many of you have gone into debt? When I went through some hard things, I looked at my Christmas list, and I thought of people who didn't give to me, and I took them off my list, and I went on my merry way. It was a fabulous year of revenge. Some of them gave, some of them didn't. It didn't matter. I gave no one. It was fabulous. And then I realized that it wasn't. Because I don't care. My gifts aren't huge, and I don't care if I get that. You know what I've learned in gifting? Is it's totally selfish now. When I give someone, I have no expectation of something from that. And you know what? I get so much from gifting. Totally selfish. When you see that joy of some stupid dollar store gift that's perfect for your friend, or someone you care about, or someone who's not expecting anything at all, the payoff is huge. So at this season, I ask you to consider gifting your father, the people. I'm so glad that we had a talk that plays into Christmas. That just makes me feel good. That is a gift to me. I'm grateful for that. That's the last of our talks, and we are behind. So we're going to move forward really quickly. I know it says on the agenda that we call the Partners Report now, but we debate and talk and the evaluation. It says and vote, but we don't vote, talk and the evaluation, right? Should I still call it the Partners Report? Okay. I'll just let our general evaluator do that. So, Kelly, your general evaluator,
All right, the way I see it, my job today is to hustle this along. Great speeches, thank you for your preparation and your messages. It's really good to hear about your intentions in your new position. And I'm excited to support you in that. And it's always nice to hear about women during Christmas, because that really is what it's all about. And we all know what the gift was that we all received and what we celebrate, the birth of our Savior and the life He gave Christ. That's most to me. I will call out our first evaluator, which is Rodney, evaluating Max.
Hey Max, because I didn't do this before, I went back and read on what the specifics of the treatment are supposed to be and what some of the roles are supposed to do. The first question, how would you explain how to express inside fit that perspective? So it was, I went back and read, and it was to kind of teach us how to express dissatisfaction when we come up with a situation. I might have mentioned, but I don't remember that. You explained your dissatisfaction in the scenario, but not so much teaching us ways to kind of teaching us how to feel it and showing us how to do that. You took on more of a group evaluations, class discussions. This one was more to stop and brought them in, but the issue being addressed in more of a group than so much one-on-one. This kind of talks about the role playing one-on-one. And being in a situation where there's some pushback and then overcome that. And Scott was totally on board, agreed that there wasn't much pushback. And so suggestion would be made to the board and talk with them, come with them and say, maybe you can put back here so you could show how to try to improve. Yeah. And it was hard to agree so much with it. And so just having that. However, going on, what you did do very well was you went through that 4-step process, taking from what you're going through. And I love how you talked about your dad and that it's great with this timing and the efficiency, that we should be professional. And that's an issue or having 5 minutes filling roles, which are already there. And your idea of how to address that, take care of it, I think it's awesome. I hope it does. It's a big topic. It seems like we're doing less and less. We're filling roles. And so I'm excited to see your plan and how it you talk about specific solutions and then what the outcome would be, and that there would be more time for me to run more effectively. You did that part very well, very clear on addressing that. You shaded a remedy to the problem. If you were that person, how would you want to fulfill those people's requests? And I know me personally, I like how you said we all put appeal to the fact that we want to be here. Why would we not then fulfill the assignment? And so that was a good way to kind of help us succeed in the field that you should get from us. So I really like that. And then how does it overcome resistance? You made a direct comment. You said, please, this topic kind of been able to do this website and journey online. And you made a very direct comment to address the issue of if we want public and want private. That please do on this until we have time to discuss it. That was there was no vagueness, it wasn't like, well, you were very, but that's unless we're talking about. And that's very effective way to deal with so it was a speech from other topics. So I hope I valued it in favor of use of help, but I just you're a GomBoc. You're a GomBoc. World champs.
Okay, just before I turn the time over to our evaluator, okay, I just want to mention that I am a GomBoc. In case you're wondering, though, I'm a GomBoc who sometimes takes a little while to end up on my feet. Yeah. So, without any further ado, Mr. Scott Pickering to evaluate this Jack Deck. Sure. First, a few more today out of the way. I think you got to definitely bounce back. When he talks about the definition of a GomBoc, I thought of the old legal wobble that they don't call that. First of all, great, very topical every day. And the objective of her speech is to inspire the audience. And I think it sounds like we're inspired that you reconsider things and think about giving or giving in a different light. It's interesting. I had a speech yesterday in another club in the same topic. So, something in the air. I really like how you use stories and anecdotes to help things in. Connecting with the audience is one of the ways to do that. To get them to relate to the speaker is stories. We all like stories. You had a good outline. You had an opening body conclusion. Your message stayed on point, and I love your book writing. I do have a couple of ideas to maybe help that. Obviously, as you've seen through your 10 speeches, you're a great speaker. And the knowledge you start great, but you got better. You've also get better. I'm pretty impressed. I'm amazed. Only 10 speeches you do really well. But I think you could be even better. That's why we're going to have to continue on, right? One of the things that I noticed is your elbows walked into your side. I've heard it said that gestures should be to the side of the room, side of the audience. So your gestures, once in a while, your gestures were small. But this side, your gestures. If it's a big hall, now even bigger. You gotta get huge. If you're talking in a living room or something like that, gestures are fine. But this room really needs to be big. The other thing, I love your stories, but I learned some things about storytelling lately that I think maybe I can use to help.
story took away from each as the audience connect and relive the experience. So what I would like to suggest is take stories and figure out a way to really work more sensory description so that we can go. Not just visual, but auditory, kinesthetic, maybe even three. And then the other thing, dialogue. Tell the story with dialogue. That is still up right there. With illustration. Instead of just hearing the narrative story in the text. And it brings the story to the present. So, in summary, making stories come more alive for us, practice that a little bit. Make a gesture finger. Keep up the story, but the stories will have to connect. And keep doing what you're doing. You're great. I'm getting better. So keep practicing. Get it going. I'm looking forward to seeing great things from you.
Do I have the toast have to come out and do everything from now on, or do I go through and ask for all?
You do all the
I do all the reports. Okay, I'll do all the reports. What are the reports?
Figures and time.
There's time, Mr. Time Master.
There's an agenda on coding.
Oh, there.
Yeah, I got everybody on time.
Everyone is within time?
Yeah.
Fantastic. You know, better than that.
Yeah.
So nobody's eliminated.
I guess I'm the grammarian too. No?
How about, did everybody use the word?
I didn't.
He didn't use the word of the day. Yeah.
Do you want to come back up and get a chance to use it?
Here you go, Pop. Max.
We give him a second chance? Okay, maybe not. Okay. All right, let's get it.
Yeah.
You're also the listener?
Yeah, and I guess too is the vote counter.
No.
Okay.
Oh, sorry, yes, it was.
So
You're the grammarian. Would you like to express yourself as a grammarian?
I realized a lot of property, but I didn't try to capture what I heard. So tenants, that needs something to pull email off, they send it to the highway plan off. That only you and me, that only you and I, that's explaining the thoughts and laws for people, that's saying we have an office of people. Another said this has got to be safe play, this has to be safe play. One of the things we would, I would say, what's your thought on that? Instead of saying, what are your thoughts? And then that I would have a couple ideas, or I would idea. And some don't really work well, some work really great. Some don't work well, some work really well. Jackie, these couple flames, oh my gosh, it was so exciting, and it fills the gills. Exciting terms or crazy. That's it.
Hey, you've done better. We're running short on time, so let's do the master real quick. Master, just kind of buzz through.
So let me do that also. Dennis was totally clean. Matt had 5 double clutches, a so, and 3 odds. And Scott during that time had 2 ohms. Jackie had 2 ohms, a so, and a double clutch. You, Kelly, had so far 2 ohms, a so, and an ohm.
I'll get some more.
Rodney had 8 double clutches, 2 ohms, 2 so's, and an odd. And Scott, he had 6 double clutches, 4 ohms, and 2 ohms.
Cool. Get your thing ready. So, you know, well, okay, let's, next we're going to do, I think I've done everything. How about that?
Absolutely.
Let's pass the votes in, and who is the vote collector since Sue isn't doing it? Rodney, good boy.
Good man.
Everybody next goes in for best speech and best evaluator. And then I think my part's finished, right? Turn it over to Toastmaster and show who's the drum roll stuff and all that.
You have to tell a little story.
A little story.
One of those, yeah.
How about a little ditty? Jack and Diane.
There you go.
One of my best Christmas memories while you guys are doing that, when I was a little boy, I remember we did a stuff for Santa one year. And we were actually kind of for ourselves. So it was really cool to get this list of names for this family, and they literally had nothing. They lived in a little shack up in Ogden on the poor side of town. I don't know which side that is anymore. I think all of Ogden's kind of like that now. And I remember going shopping, and basically for us to do it, we gave up our whole Christmas. Which had a lot of meaning to me, and now as an adult, I look back and I just remember that. And because we had other Christmases where we just got so much stuff that was disgusting. You know, it was all about this stuff. And I've come to a point in my life now where I look back and I remember that and just giving. And hopefully someone who isn't able to help themselves, and really giving them things that they really need, and maybe a couple of things that they want. And boy, I remember that. That was a great memory for me, and I haven't covered more in that Christmas than any other Christmas. So we'll have Toastmaster, let's just come up now. And
Well, we are going to have to finish really fast, but I do want to make a comment. I too agree that for me, my best Christmas is, I'm a Christmas child. I love Christmas. I love gift. And seeing my kids' faces or anybody else's face when they give me a gift is wonderful, but my very best Christmas always been when I can that is able to provide things to their kids to get those smiles and things like that. I'm sure everybody can do that. One other really, really fast thing is I wanted to comment that we think this program, Jackie and I and Marisa and Judy was there and suffering in the distance. That I just want to thank you for letting us know about that. That was amazing, and it just my spirit so much. They are. And we were going to come back tonight and Frosty was out there and do that singer. But, we didn't do it. So maybe next year. Anyway, let's go back and turn, or now to our winners are. So drum roll, please.
Best evaluator was Scott. Oh, sorry.
Okay, Lindsay table topics, so drum roll for best speaker. Jeff. Congratulations, everybody. Turn the time over to our president and got it. Yay. Almost on time. Your vision or your intention or whatever word you like to have. But now we can on. So I signed myself up for the people talk to for the first meeting. So you all know we're not having a meeting next week, which means the next meeting is the 2nd of January. So I've given them a role as somebody or and I would like the opportunity to take whatever it is you said and I don't know and really put it in the front. So I would be calling them. I would be giving you my list of what I have so that you can build on it. Do you have my number? I don't have my number. Yeah, I didn't hear before we got here. Yeah,
we do have a list on the website. We also download all of Well, I put down on this minute, user.
Okay, but I'm asking you next week, go down a bit and forward. That would be get started, and then if any further information needs to be fixed or clarified, and then we can clean it up on the second. We have scheduled a for Saturday, this Saturday. And I was derelict in my duty because I started Super Saturdays and then passed it on to those who needed assignments. You fulfilled your assignment, Shane fulfilled his assignment, and I didn't push it to someone else for their assignment. Is there any way? I have those too, but then Frank brought it up and I have it on my calendar. So is there anyone interested in coming on Saturday? I think so. So, I've officially, since I'm still president and closing to Saturday for the 2013 year, and we'll have a discussion if that needs to be picked back up for those who have the longer sleep ID myself. I would like to wish everyone a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, and if officers and or new officers can stay just a couple of minutes, we're gonna have a quick meeting, Frank and myself, and kick off what we've done for 2014. Thank you.